Okay, so we've been in America for like, what, 2 weeks now, and we've noticed
I'm bloody sick of it, by the way.
We've noticed that you guys think it's actually hot out here.
It's not. It's not.
You literally have AC. You literally have AC. We don't do AC. You go into Birmingham, you go into London, you won't find AC in these houses, you know. We don't do that out there. And so we would be outside and then we go inside and it's still hot. But you guys can go inside and it's cool off. And we only know that because we've been in an Airbnb and it's actually freezing in here.
Literally.
So,
like, try growing up back in Birmingham. It's bloody hot.
It's so hot.
You lot
it's
don't know
so
what
hot.
hot is. You don't know what heat is. I'm taking here about 95 degrees. We don't have AC.
Right.
We don't.
Yeah, if you go outside for too long and you're too hot, you have to go inside, you have to run the bath. You have to run it cold. And even still, sometimes it wouldn't even be cold. So no matter what, we cannot escape the heat. You guys can escape the heat. If you do your research elsewhere, you'd find that there is other places that actually don't get to get out of the heat.
It's a privilege.
It's a privilege.
It is.
It's a literal privilege.
Honestly, maybe, do you guys even struggle?
Honestly.
Do you even know what struggling is?
Because it's just, you live in luxury here. So honestly, take that as you will. But yeah. Look, we're not saying we don't like the AC, we're just saying we don't have it. And
yeah, we really enjoy having AC.
it is actually really nice. But yeah.
So please don't be coming at us in the comments. We've had so many comments in our last video coming at us, and we're like,
yeah,
we're grateful for these big portions. We're grateful for all the big food that you guys get big food. But
literally all I'm saying is you guys are kind of living luxury. So
yeah,
don't take it for granted.
Just don't, like, you guys are always saying, like, life is so hard, but it's really hard to live in the heat back in the UK. So.
It is. Not saying you guys, your lives aren't hard, not saying it.
Yeah,
not
just
saying it.
Like,
just,
the AC is great, so.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
This is the result of being a tourist all day in Europe. Ridiculous.
This is fucking ridiculous. This heat wave that's going through New York right now. Today it's 93 degrees. And they said with the heat index, it could be over 100. And tomorrow, even hotter yet. And the thing I'm kind of curious about is I remember when I was a kid baling hay, putting hay in the barn in like between like 86 and 1994. Like, it was hot, you know, 90 degrees, but it wasn't this kind of hot. I'm telling you right now, something has changed and I don't know what it is. But you go outside and it literally feels like the skin is melting off your fucking body. It's just unbearable. It's like the intensity of the sun just makes your skin ache. I don't know if that's the way to describe it, but something's happened. I don't know if it's the ozone layer. I don't know if they're fucking with the temperature somehow in the climate. I don't know. But am I onto something? Can someone explain to me why the goddamn sun is so fucking hot? It's almost too hot to work, too hot to be outside, too hot to get in your car. You get in the car and your fucking hands feel like they're melting through the steering wheel. 93 in 2026 ain't the same as a 1986, 93 or 95. But somebody tell me why.
My European friends, you need to listen to me very carefully. American people tried to warn us. They tried to say, the heat is different here. You're going to want air conditioning. You're going to want ice in your drinks. And what did you do? You laughed. You said they were being dramatic. You said, why does every building need to feel like a fridge?
Listen, I don't keep up with sports. I did not know that the World Cup was going to be here this year. Anyway, I find it so funny that people over in the UK think that Americans are tweaking, they're tripping, they're overreacting, they're being so dramatic about their heat. Oh my God, you guys don't know real heat. You guys will understand real heat. You guys are just... And now that they're here, and they're experiencing the type of heat that we have, and they have to take mandatory drink breaks because they're going to pass out because they cannot handle the heat here. Nobody was saying that so we could brag about the fact that, no, we're literally saying the heat here can legitimately kill you.
I'm a Floridian in Europe for this big heat wave they're having, and let me tell you that it doesn't even compare. It is warm. It would be comparable to like an early May, type of warmth in Florida. It's a little humid. It's not that humid. It's not that bad outside. In the sun, it's hot. In the shade, it is wonderful. It is breezy. It is delightful. However, big however, it is not the same because they don't have air conditioning. They don't even have fans. Inside, there's no ceiling fans. So when you go inside to escape the warmth, it is sweltering hot and humid. And when you try to sleep at night, it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable. It's like when your air conditioning's out in the middle of summer. It's pretty not great. When the heat wave started 2 days ago, we were in England at a wedding, and I was wearing a long polyester dress. It was warm. These are the shoes. I was wearing just silver slip-on shoes. You couldn't see them anyway because my dress was so long. Yesterday we drove up to Scotland. It is still absolutely gorgeous here, especially in the evening, but it is hot. This is as far as the windows will open. There's no ceiling fan. It was a hot night last night. It is 63 degrees right now, so it is absolutely gorgeous. We're headed out for a hike, but it is warm and it is different. There's nothing that compares. In Florida, it's hot, you go in the air conditioning, you're good. Here, it's hot, you go inside, and it's arguably maybe even more hot.
I made myself sick working in the sun yesterday. I know I'm getting older, but this sun is so intense, it's so hot, that 2.5 hours of me working outside, and it just, all of a sudden, it was out of nowhere. I was fine 1 minute, and the next minute, I was on the ground. And I guess that I had lost consciousness. And when I came to, I felt like all of my nerve endings were tingling, like I couldn't feel my fingers, I couldn't feel my toes, my feet. I immediately went inside, literally holding onto the walls outside. Tunnel vision, everything was black from here on, I got in the bathtub, ran some water, and I sat in the bathtub, cold water, for probably 30 minutes. And I was dry heaving, not to be gross, but there was just nothing left. I don't know how a person can go from just fine to done, just done. I have no idea. I've never in my life experienced anything like it. And it took me all day yesterday and half the day today of just being inside, recuperating, to even go outside. Folks, be careful out there. It's unbelievable.
I don't really think a lot of people are understanding that these heat waves that we are seeing, these hot summers that we are seeing, are not really heat waves. They are not really hot summers, and that we may be experiencing Earth's new baseline. Unfortunately, on the East Coast this week, we're going to have another heat wave, and well, that's exactly what it presents itself as. I am in Maine right now, where I live, and it's going to be 104 degrees. The last few summers, it has reached astronomical temperatures that people like me are not used to, and the people from Arizona and Texas can say this is light work, but it will affect them as well. How's the drought going in your state? Probably not good. This is happening all over Europe, too. Let's take the UK, for example. In July 2022, they hit the highest temperature ever recorded in their history, which was 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius. That is why those people don't have ACs, because their summers are usually praised for being cool, calm, and collected at around 65 to 80 degrees, somewhere in there. But the last few years, they have experienced 20 degrees over their normal. And I don't like being a negative Nancy about this, but this is quite literally what climate scientists were warning us about, and what is coming to fruition, exactly what they said would happen.
British people during the heat wave is something to be studied, because tell me why. I tell my British boyfriend that I am of heat. I'm about to get a freaking heat stroke. I am parked outside of my house with my 2 dogs because I cannot take the heat in the house. Also, I decided that today was going to be the day that I was going to go for a walk, clean the house. I am going through it. And tell me why I tell this guy that I'm going to go get an air conditioning for the house. And he's like, toughen it up. Toughen it up? Bitch, I'll toughen it up when something real happens and I don't have any option to fix the situation. But why would I toughen it up when I can go get a portable AC and go horizontal in my bedroom, feel crisp as a cucumber? I do not understand that. But for British people, it is imperative to be tough. They don't understand that you can actually have comfort. For them, it's more of a matter of being strong enough to go through it. And as someone who moved from Florida lastly, to the UK, I am used to having AC when the weather is like this. Like this and no AC is something that I do not understand. Like there are people putting chunks of ice in foam coolers with pipes coming out and a fan behind to blow cold air into their bedroom. All of that to not get an aircon. They do everything they can to not get an air conditioning, but everybody complains about the same heat during the summer in the UK. Make that make sense.
As you may know, Europe is now going through a heat wave. Temperatures are reaching way above 100 degrees. It is literally unbearable. Thousands of people have already died, especially the elderly. And the other day I called my grandmother, who lives in Czechia, my birth country, and I told her how is she putting up with it and what is she doing to make herself colder. And I suggested, why don't you get air conditioning? She goes, oh no, I would never do that. I would rather die of heat than install air conditioning in my home. And I go, well, that's a very irrational belief. And she's not the only one. Most people in Czech, especially the older generation, have very negative stance towards air conditioning and unnatural ventilation. And this traces back to humoral medicine or folk medicine from like the 18th, 17th centuries in Europe, where uncontrolled wind was said to contribute to hardship for the body, and it was hard for the body to regulate the temperature, and it would get the body out of equilibrium. And so the remedy was stay inside, don't get exposed to natural elements like wind, and you'll get better. And so this sort of inherited belief has carried on for centuries, despite science moving on and obviously proving this inherited belief wrong. It's still part of the culture, and you can't just remove it from the culture, right? It has been practiced for centuries, and so a lot of the older generation now in Central Eastern Europe is very much against air conditioning and will never have it, including just a standalone fan, and would rather die from heat. I have to say, with the changing temperatures, as you know, Europe is getting hotter, summers are getting hotter and more unbearable. It didn't used to be that way 50 years ago. The temperatures would never go above 100 degrees. But now, as it's getting hotter, younger generations are realizing that air conditioning is a necessity, and so they are integrating it in their homes, and it is becoming more of a thing.
Okay, so I really do love the sun, okay? Like, don't come at me now. I absolutely love the sun. But this is absolutely disgusting heat. Like, I feel like it's suffocating me. I can't actually even sit out there, and it's always that I want to sit out there to get a tan. I actually can't. I can't put myself through it any longer. I've sat out there for about half an hour and I've had to come in because it's making me feel sick. It's giving me a greasy belly. And I love the sun, but I can't sit out there. It is vile. Anybody else with me on this one? Like, what's going on in the air? Because there's no air. Like, wow, it is warm. So flipping warm.
This is how bad the heat wave is in London right now. We come into the kitchen and there's water like all over the counter. It's going back. Mind you, I've been home all day long, okay? No water on the counter. This is not something that's, I'm like, oh, I don't know, we took a shower, maybe there's a pipe leaking somewhere, okay? I grab a tissue to wipe the water off the counter. Guess what this is? It's the butter. This evening, the butter has melted and leaked all across the counter, everywhere. You're not okay.
The old sun is back. The sun that we grew up with. The sun that we had in 2016. The orange one that's really small. Not like the sun simulator that I will show you guys here in the video. Anyways, just an assessment. I'm not doubting that there's wildfires in Canada. But the sky has also been compromised in other ways, as you guys know, right? If you follow me, you know this, right? Well, I can't help but say it's been a smoke screen all day, and now it's ended, and there's blue sky opening up, and the old sun is back. Anyways, I'm Sammy the Kid with Food, Shelter, Water on YouTube, reminding you guys that your government is lying to you. The sky is literally the limit. The earth is flat and stationary, and they're spraying us and poisoning us from more fronts than just one. Wake up to truth, because we're all waking up, and if you're not awake, you probably won't survive what's coming.
This is a serious warning. The BBC have just released figures to suggest that this heat wave we are going through since May is a silent killer. Just under 3,000 deaths because of the heat. It's not just about feeling a little bit dehydrated or a bit unwell, dizzy maybe. It's putting a serious strain on your vital organs, your lungs and your heart. Can lead to heart attacks, can lead to strokes, respiratory failure. So, of course, the vulnerable babies are more at risk. I mean, you just can't be complacent. Just be warned, be careful. Make sure you're drinking the water. Also, remember the cold water, shock deaths. We have to also be very careful if we're coming out of this unprecedented extreme heat and then jumping into cold water. That is also a risk. So just be careful, people.